Welcome, good evening, one of us. All left. I am the eddy. This is part 11 of Danganronpa 1 True Havoc. So, let's hop in. By the way, I'm not entirely certain on this, but I think the title has Makoto all times left, and I think we randomly get one of the others on the right hand. I think it's always Chihiro. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Well, I mean, Monokuma's got plenty of dead bodies to choose from.
So in other words, naturally. In other words, that's right. What? You're serious? You know? Yo! Huh? But... What? Conspiracy!
I don't know where that came from. Get the key off of the Akio.
It's all clear now.
What?
Just give up. What? Goodbye.
No, I am not checking the entire building for whatever that is. That will take forever. I have no idea where to go. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of my video on YouTube where Gray still plays, where I was watching him basically do parkour jumps in cars in GTA. I'm going to Google. Load. I'm on my phone, that's why you won't hear clicking. Danganronpa. Trigger. Havoc. Chapter 5. Right. Nope, that's the letter A instead of Q. I'm not looking all over the building for this. That will take forever. Okay. It says contents are garden, gym, Kyoko's room, dojo, and archive. Courtroom. I should be able to remember that, but just in case, I'm going to take a screenshot. And I don't need to look up anymore. Okay, so gym, and then Kyoko's room, and then the dojo and the archive. Readjust how I'm sitting again. Okay, so let's go to the gym. Basically, places in Kyoko's room, and the places where they were, and the places where Kyoko had last saw her. So the gym's first floor.
You know? Huh? What?
way the movement is in this game, it kind of reminds me of Dark Messiah. This game also has the title Hell Knight. There's a Let's Play out there of it by a channel called Mike Mnemonic. Go check him out, he's pretty interesting. I haven't looked at his channel in probably a decade, so I wonder if he still uploads videos. This is the complete wrong way. I mean, staring at the map and say, I look. Like, I want advanced technology to look at a heads-up display. So you're gonna use it for evil? No, I'm gonna use it for to be able to find my way to every Taco Bell. So evil. Fine. You know about the chalupas?
Let's go.
Hey.
What? It's certainly possible.
This room is very plain. Which I really wouldn't expect much difference because my room's very plain. But, you know, why would we have decorations here? We're being held here against our will, but at the same time, I saw a hero's room. He has a bunch of shit. Where did he get all this shit?
What? Come on.
It's true.
Interesting.
Under the sheets.
What? I see.
Okay. Soldier.
see. Naturally.
Found it! What? What? Hey, come on now!
I don't even remember who Ogami is. Oh, it's Sakura. She's dead. I don't think she'll care anymore. She's dead. She won't feel that.
Of course! Hey, in other words, yes indeed!
Mukuro Ikusaba. The 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Why?
Huh? Yes, indeed. Well, now. Hey,
Yeah, that's... Well, thank you for confirming that this is not Kyoko. Besides, one, long nails are not only impractical, I find them gross. Now, like I said, to each their own, but it's just unappealing. Not to mention just, yeah. Tattoos on their end, really don't care either way. My body doesn't have any. I think the best joke I heard about that is like, well, why would you put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari? But realistically, it's just like, I don't like needles, and I just have no interest in tattoos. I like art to a great degree, and I like lots of pictures, but I just don't like the idea of tattoos on my body. It's not any religious reason, a lot of religions, like especially Christian, it's like, oh, you shouldn't get tattoos. But honestly, that's a completely different reason why that's in the Bible. It's like the whole thing. Don't eat shellfish and stuff like that, but that's because stuff wasn't treated right back then, and well, people would get sick and die, so they just didn't want people getting sick anymore. Same thing with tattoos. It was usually just, certain tribes that were at war with the people, and usually getting a tattoo is a sign of, being loyal to that, opposition or the enemy. It had nothing really to do with religion. It was just how they kept their society together and made it function correctly. It wasn't for, moral reasons. Same thing me, it's not moral reasons, not religious reasons, it's just not something I want. At the same time, I have dated women wearing tattoos. It's okay, it's just another way people express themselves. You know, everyone's got different ways of self-expression.
What? Such ignorance. That's right. It's certainly possible. What? It's all clear now. So, in other words, let's go.
Well, at least they fast traveled me.
I see. Very strange. That's right. I see. Very strange. Why? What? Let's go. I see.
The Wolf of Ragnarok. mean, that would make sense. I'm glad you give me just enough time to get the clues I need.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us. Organisms, the earth, natural phenomena.
I'm okay with you waxing philosophical. It's just hard to take you seriously when you're such an asshole.
It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that.
What's that process called? Entropy? I think what you're describing is entropy.
Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot.
I feel like you're...
See you later.
That's right.
What did you guys... What were you guys doing? What are you implying?
Hey. What? Why?
Could it be?
Come on.
In other words,
Hey.
I mean, technically we're all ghosts, man. We're just ghosts all, you know, walk around in flesh suits. It's like, why are you guys so scared? Like we're a fucking brain jellyfish operating a bone mech suit with flesh armor. The world can't stop us, we're terrifying monsters.
What?
Is that right? Indeed.
No, because it's most obvious that, you know, okay, it's Makuro that's dead. But the question is, who killed Makuro?
Let's go.
Obviously, me and Kyoko are suspects.
But...
Hey, Kyoko. What you been up to?
Correct. That's right. Whew. So... However... Wrong. In other words...
Just a second!
Makoto. It would seem... Goodbye.
Okay. Okay.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
Okay, it's...
Thrills, Chip!
Okay. I have new skills. Where are they? And what do they do?
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
She's literally... If she hadn't showed up, yes, it'd be fine for you to assume that.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
Dude.
But she has legs and stuff.
I do remember it's kind of a thing in Japanese culture that ghosts don't have legs.
Well, that's just because
I don't remember why.
she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
I feel bad for whoever had to write this man's dialogue.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
That's not how that works.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
This shouldn't even be an issue. Tattoo is very random.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Now,
Shoot!
That Kyoko there is just... Okay, then prove
The
it.
dead body
They got burnt up.
Then she was wearing...
Well, yeah, because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
yeah, I agree, Bianca. I absolutely.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove
Why
she's
is
not
this
a
an
ghost.
argument?
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
I'm trying to shoot it.
Shoot!
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove
The dead body
they got burnt up.
Then she was wearing...
Well, yeah, because that corpse is...
This entire discussion is idiotic.
It is.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
Shoot!
That Kyoko there is just... Okay, then prove
The dead body
they got burnt up.
Process of elimination.
Yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Why is shit blocking this?
Shoot!
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
Why is it so hard to shoot
She
this?
got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing...
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Thank you.
No!
I'm glad I couldn't hit the other thing that was obviously wrong, apparently.
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
I take issues with a lot of things. Like, it's just... Why would that make I don't understand!
Anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life.
How bad are your scars? I'm not judging you, I'm just saying... If your hands are that badly scarred, do your hands hurt? I mean, for something to happen that would cause scarring like that, for it to be that necessary, that custom, would it, like would the bones inside your hand have been damaged? Like, does that hurt?
If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Again, I agree.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Tattoo, obviously.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
True, the face
And there
was.
wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Let me shoot this.
No, it's wrong.
Reminds me, I gotta try to get back into Halo at some point. I only did one
There
part.
was one clue left behind
I
that we
haven't
can
gone
use
back
to
to it in, like,
identify the
months.
body.
What? For real?
Think. My concept of time might be terrible.
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
1, why would I be lying? 2, why do you care in such a way? And 3, that is disproportionate retribution!
Oh, an unusual death. This I gotta see.
You're not helping. And again, you have not been at any point.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
There are so many things inappropriate about that.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Yakuya. It's not an issue that you're a genius, it's an issue that I don't think anyone else... Can you, like, share some brain cells, man? I don't like you as a person, you're an asshole and you're smug pompous, but... At least you're not dumb.
Oh, really?
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Wolf's a pretty short word, yep. W. Son of a bitch!
Now I understand! The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo.
Exactly. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir, so it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? Now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
We did kind of take a leap of logic there.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first... After all, looking at her profile, all it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this, no matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
How about this? Monokuma, just confirm.
No, there are
Thank you.
only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs, all of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
Scuba is still alive. Nah, I don't think Monokuma would have been happy with not actually killing somebody.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that,
I feel like that's
I
a
just want to try and
reference
get
to
a
another
better
game.
idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that it was after nighttime for sure. So the murder must have happened after.
Then I guess we can say the time frame. Oh, but what time?
The one who saw the body first was Toko.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? Oh yeah, right around 7:30. I remember checking.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Well, the sprinklers go off at 7:30. So I couldn't have killed the person because otherwise they'd be wet. Sprinklers.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
I'm trying to shoot this! Let me fucking shoot it!
So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time. We've established a time frame for the murder that took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
No, that's wrong! Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on! I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
No one even said anything like that. Also, your wording of that is actually what's kind of inappropriate.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
I don't even understand. I don't understand!
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
No! No! Not the rhythm game!
Nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! You don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to play me? Nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! You don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to play me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to play me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! You don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to play me? How can you say it?
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
How?
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just...
I'm just confused.
The reason only the top... While the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murk sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
How long do sprinklers stay on?
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
I'm glad you guys trusted me so
In
much.
which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all, and as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Why are you bringing that up? This doesn't seem nice.
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you?
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Does she suspect me?
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick.
What is with that look on your face?
You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why are you wording it this way? Was there blood on the tarp?
Wait. And what might that be?
Try the blood.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water.
What? I'm correct, though. Like, there's no blood on the tarp. How could the tarp
By
been...
covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side...
Yeah...
Shoot!
By covering the body, the killer prevents.
So the reason that was the spring, but the underside, it was totally
It's because that side was protected from the wall. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Thank you.
No, that's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
That's so dumb.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage? What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
Chicken.
Someone else's blood?
There's a missing chicken.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
That's actually a valid point. That is an
That's
option.
what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No. That's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
But I loves chickens, Eddie!
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
Wouldn't there have been feathers everywhere, though?
Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I'd say you were discussing how much you wanted fried chicken.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
It does look like it's...
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time.
Like, why would you wear a coat that
Here's
way?
what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they've already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
Why are you going this route?
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate. Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea.
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
I think there's an old saying. If you flip a coin enough times, you'll eventually land on its side. I think there was a statistic. There was a video. There's a channel called Max Durat. He actually talks about video games and stuff with an anime about philosophy. And he was talking about Legacy of Kain, the Soul Reaver. But yeah, flip a coin enough times. Eventually it'll land on its side, but it's supposed to be 1 in 6,000. But yeah, go check out his channel. It's Max Durrat. MAX space DERRAT.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Like Legacy of Kain is a Nishian nightmare. Go look up his video.
The one we found stuck in... According to the Monokuma file? So? What if...
I'm pretty sure I'd see. That's what I thought when I first saw it.
You guys really think I'm strong enough to push a fucking knife through a body? Like, that's pretty fucking far.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have known.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
I don't think you're allowed to be. I feel like we need to get a restraining order between you and Math. Like, you are not allowed to come within 1,000 feet of Math. I don't know which one.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question.
Well, she got hit in the head with
that knife of yours and
hard
killed her
too,
with
right?
it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Yeah, but yeah. Also, the blood didn't come from the knife.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is,
Right,
isn't it?
disguised.
I was afraid of
If he did have that knife, that seals it. Just because I had that automatically...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
The knife wasn't the murder weapon.
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Where's the other stab wound? No, because there'd be blood all over the fucking ground then. And the tarp. Okay, thank you. You at least confirmed that I wasn't the killer, so...
Is this really I refuse to give up yet! Wait, hold on. That should be...
Why?
No, the killer cover. In other words...
Okay.
So... The knife had been thrust... obvious... Shoot!
Hey. Maybe?
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her.
How is Togo not dead?
It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle cause an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
Science would also like a restraining order.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb!
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true! It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
Okay. Well, that makes that easier.
Then, shall we continue the debate?
She got hit in the head with
victim's
something.
fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Nope.
Shoot!
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury had...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't you because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Oh.
Shoot!
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal.
The explosion didn't kill.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't you. And then
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed...
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire
Shoot it!
body.
I'm trying to shoot it! Why doesn't the bullet... Let's make the absorb the thing as a bullet and shoot a bullet button the same button! And even though tapping Y is supposed to shoot the bullet, and holding is supposed to absorb shit,
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Shoot!
Then shall we continue the victim's fatal.
the explosion didn't kill.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't you. And then
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the...
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
nope.
Shoot!
That's...
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
the explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Damn it!
Well, yeah.
Trying to absorb the other thing.
When that happened.
And it wasn't you because of. And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was...
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Shoot! Is... I refuse to give up yet!
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well,
And it wasn't you. And then there's only one other.
oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered... Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Let me shoot
The
this!
explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well,
Yeah, she was already totally dead when that...
And it wasn't you because of the knife, right?
Okay, this is gonna take forever. Power of the internet!
Shoot!
Danganronpa. Chapter 5. Going to the wiki guide because we are never going to figure this out. Like, it's not that hard to simply say that either a person died to older wounds or the fucking blow to the head, but that's not an option now, is it? Okay, I'm saying stuff about victim's fatal injury and absorb that and shoot it at the back of the head. And I'm saying stuff about titanium arrows to then duct tape with marquee. There's proof and locker in my lock key in my memory. So I'm gonna absorb this stuff with my screenshot. That because although I should be able to remember it. Unload. Go back. Okay. Turn off. Turn off. I don't look. Okay. So fatal injury.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Absorption.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah.
She was already told.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? Then there's only one other.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it.
There was evidence that showed she was hit on
The guide literally said to do that!
Shoot!
Okay, going to my gallery to look at the fucking guide picture that I took. Victim's fatal injury, hit on the back of her head.
Then shall we continue the
Wait, is it the other way around?
The victim's fatal. The explosion
Do I
didn't kill her.
absorb?
Yeah. And it wasn't even. There's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit
And
on the
shoot
back
this
of her
at
head.
the
And more than that,
fatal
The
injury.
victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
It might even decapitate them, actually.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
How would you even... That'd be so fucking unwieldy.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind
What
of
are you doing?
power.
The murder weapon was a wiffle bat! You guys remember that episode of South Park? Cartman tries to kill somebody by trying to beat them up with out. It's like, it's a wiffle bat. It's the strongest thing I can find. So you're gonna have to bear with me. This is gonna take hours. And it's like, bunk, 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 bunk. It's like, I'm gonna kill you with a wiffle bat. It will take hours.
I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
What?
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with a metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
That's not good.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master!
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Yeah, I saw the rest of the answers when I looked up this thing.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the
Betting
back
it's
of
only
the
a-
head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master! You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
The titanium arrow. It was in the
Did you
dojo
cover it
locker,
with
right?
duct tape to make it into a blunt weapon?
No doubt, that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
No, that's wrong! You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak. You put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
But here's the thing. Even if she ever had the fucking dojo key, how would she put it in her room? You had her key. Aside from Monokuma, you're the only one who could have entered her room to put the fucking
How can
key
you
there.
say that with such
She didn't have a fucking key.
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
Oh,
But how would she have
What's
gotten
the
in her
matter?
room?
Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
But here's the thing. How would she have put the fucking key in her own room when you had the key to her room?
of course.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
But you had the key to her room.
The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key
Plus,
to the dojo
I remember
locker.
having a conversation with her in the dojo.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
But she couldn't even go to her room because Byakuya has the key.
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
Well, if you're being honest, I appreciate it. But
What?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
and you had the key to her room, so you're the only one who could have put the fucking... I don't remember this in the fucking... Okay. You know what? No. Gallery. No.
Those words you just spoke. What do you
There's
mean?
proof. Locker in my own.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier.
Yeah, I would have never figured this out.
You
Actually.
said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room.
You
Correct?
absorb this
But
and shoot it at
could
the
I
there's
really
proof
have done
thing.
that?
So is
Those words
Byakuya
you
the
just
killer?
spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. No, I want to know. Power of the internet. Okay. I don't know how I got to this thing, but they're talking about like there's different endings to this game, and there's special hidden scenes. For example, apparently if you grab a lot of mana coins, and you roll in the mana machine enough until you attain an item called a man's fantasy, allows you to access a special scene where in Chapter 3, where Makoto, Hiro, and Hifumi peek on the girls taking a bath. So, there's stuff where Hiro dies. I don't know, I'm confused by this. Damn it. Okay, so I don't know. Apparently, like, you get extra scenes if you give people certain items. So, yeah, I have no clue on any of that. Apparently, like, if I say this, nothing happens. If I pursue a lie, it's like, oh, it's just we don't do anything. So the only way to actually advance it is this.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
You or us? Right, the alibi.
Wait a second. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time! So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote.
Voting time?
What, did I fuck up?
Now, who will be chosen as... Hey, hold on! What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
What?
Sorry.
I mean, it doesn't surprise. You guys have voted for me every fucking trial anyway.
Yes, indeed. Yep. Hey! Shing! Thrills, chills, kill!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Let's give it everything we've got!
So... Did I fuck up? Am I gonna have to do that trial again? This... Obviously this is a bad ending. That's an appropriate pace. Hi, Chihiro. Did you survive? Hope you survived. Thank you. Wouldn't this still kill me? What, am I falling into water? Because even if I fall into like a mattress, I'm still gonna break my fucking neck.
This is...
It would seem...
What the heck?
In other words...
Thank you, Chihiro.
Calm down. In other words...
What did you say?
So...
Yeah? Okay. Thank you, Jiru. Why does the school have a garbage pit?
Just a second.
How did you survive?
It smells awful.
Yeah. You know, I would like some... It's like, what would you like in your ramen? I would like Kyoko Kirigiri on my ramen.
Indeed. So...
Thank you.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
hmm?
You know, the fact that Makoto's like the ultimate optimist kind of reminds me of two things. One kind of reminds me of... let's see. Me. Because like I said, I'm kind of a naturally depressed person. Feels like I run into shit a lot of times, but everyone seems to think I'm like the most optimistic person they ever met. And despite being a bit sad about a lot of things, I can still come off as happy and people can't tell I'm sad. So, and even if I'm really angry or overwhelmed by stuff and super stressed out, I'm still nice to everybody and I still stay calm and I still try to do my best to make the best of whatever's going on. It also reminds me of something else. Date. D-A-T-E. It's like Dante, but without the N. Date. It's the main character of the second best visual novel ever made. AI Somnium Files. How he basically does the same thing. It's like regardless of the situation, he tends to be, even if it's a bit of a morbid situation, he tends to be just all sorts of chill, nonsensical, and funny. And try to make a little bit of humor of a dark situation. Because it cheers people up and helps people as a coping mechanism. And he tries to stay positive no matter what. And I don't know, I kind of feel it's kind of cool that Date, you know, part inspiration for the name I came up with, Lunar D8. One, partly in Night Moon 11, You know, lunar D8, it's night, you know, night moon, lunar, night moon, lunar, and of course D8, you know, is Dungeons & Dragons dice, but of course date, D8 or date, lunar date, so, you know, it can also be astrological, it can also be about alignments. It also has a play on the name of Date from that game, but of course lunar and moon, you know, it's a play on Raging Loop. Yes, my name is a lot of references to different visual novels, and as well as references to each other, and just various things I'm interested in. But, yeah. And like I said, the avatar is just a picture I found where someone combined the images of Sailor Moon and Yu Yu Hakusho. I just think that's really cool, and just the face for that, and of Zelos from the Slayers. Just things I'm fans of, and I think are very just interesting shows. And I thought I was being clever when I came up with the name Lunar D8 and how it's a reference to all of those things.
So... you... Indeed.
Yeah.
However... it's true. In other words... Indeed. Makoto. That's right. It would seem... Hey. Indeed.
Also, how? But the why is kind of obvious for me. How?
However... why is that? Correct. However...
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's...
Yeah, I still don't get this part, man. Like, did World War III happen and, like, we're, like, being protected like a nuclear shelter and it's been hijacked?
Listen. Hey. Correct.
Okay, so... let's leave. Didn't we just talk?
So... Correct.
I kinda guessed that.
So...
What?
In other words... No matter what?
So,
Are you a robot? This explains how you survived the fall. I don't understand how I survived falling. Am I a robot?
However...
Wait, how are we going to explain to Hero that we're not ghosts?
So... It's true. Indeed. Correct. However...
How?
So...
Okay, so let's be on our way. We're gonna stop in the kitchen for some cake though, Kyoko. I'm still hungry. Didn't we just talk twice?
However... However... Anyway... Indeed. Correct. That's right. In other words... Hey. Indeed.
That's an unusual ability.
Anyway... Correct.
Thank you.
However... Correct. Indeed. Correct.
Great! Don't I feel special?
In other words... Makoto. Indeed. That's right.
Okay.
It would seem... Indeed.
Okay.
Anyway...
Can you bring a key?
Indeed. That's right. It's true. Indeed.
Ultimate pain, ultimate suffer, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. It's a little more somber sounding. I need a shower though. We probably still have low blood sugar. All we ate was fucking bread and water. And I am looking directly up her skirt. Okay. Well, this is probably a long video anyway, so... let's go and call this apart. Hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.